Now, craft a powerful message that attract your ideal client, build trust, and position yourself as a powerful coach. Now, my name is Professor Daddy Joy if this is your first time here, and my mission with this series is to help purpose-driven educators build a soul-aligned business so that they can start living a life of abundance without sacrificing the things that matter. And in this episode, you're gonna craft your origin story, you're gonna write your belief in writing, and you're gonna finally declare your position as a soul-aligned CEO. Now, why does this matter? Now, your niche tells people what you do, but your message, that's what makes them care. Now, when you share your story and your belief, people would instantly find a connection and start get around your message like fowls around rice. Yeah, and I'm super excited to be sharing this with you. Also, I'll be sharing our workbook in the description section. Go ahead and get the workbook, because when you do it along with the workbook, you get into action quicker. And I want to hear your biggest insight as well in the comment. The first person to drop gold nugget and their insight would win a special gift from myself. So let's continue doing the thing, man, and big up yourself. Now, the mission of today is to find your magnetic soul aligned message. Now, last week we focused in on finding your niche, crafting that niche statement using the 3P framework: people, promise, and problem. Your niche tells people what you do, but your message makes them care. Let me say that again. Your niche tells people what is it that you do, but your message, it makes them care. And by the end of today's session, you would have an origin story, one that you can share, whether you want to share it inside of your TEDx speech, a webinar, a keynote, or even if you're having a conversation with someone. Yeah, and this is a story that helps you to connect to the hearts of the people who's right for what you're offering. Also, you're gonna craft your core belief in writing. And you're gonna also share your first public message declaring your new role as a soul-aligned CEO. Now, throughout this journey, as I said, one of my main mission is not just to help you to build a soul-aligned business, but for you to step into the identity of a leader, the identity of a leader of your own enterprise. Yeah, and that is a promise that I want to make to you. Now, why story matters. Yeah, and before I say why story matter, I want to take you back to the year 2021. Yeah, there I was walking through the street of Minhang in Shanghai, and I received a text message. Now, this text message changed my life in ways that I could have never imagined today. Now, this was a text message from the HR director of a new job that I recently got applied to and got accepted. And the message states that, Dino, I'm sorry, but our team won't be able to hire you. You will need to go back to your previous job. Now, when I saw that message, I felt so that like this rage just boiled up in my body, because I already retired from my previous job, and I didn't know what I was gonna do. Yeah, and there, as I was there, feeling lost, feeling like I made such a terrible decision, this bolt of thought just came to me, and it said, ask for help, Dino. Ask for help. So in that moment, I messaged my trainer at the time, which was Adrian Cahill. I was doing my NLP master practitioner at that time. And I shared with him about the situation, and he see what he could have done to help me. And I remember calling Dassault at that time as well, because we literally decided to move to Shanghai together, and I told her everything that happened. And I was a bit frantic, telling how stupid I was to make such a decision. And then she looked at me and she said, Dino, you already know what you want to do. You don't need to be perfect to start. Your authenticity and your willingness to learn, that's what truly matters. You see, the thing is, at that time, I wanted to be a coach. I wanted to be coaching full time. However, I was hesitating to act because I feel like I wasn't enough. Yeah, and with her words, I moved forward in imperfect action and took the courage to shift and start my coaching business full time. Yeah, and my life changed in ways that I can't even imagine to date. Yeah, all the beliefs and the fear that I have of things that I thought would have happened, none of those happened. Yeah, and I'm still here fighting the good fight to this day. And the reason why I'm sharing this story with you is because you don't need to be perfect to start. Your authenticity and your willingness to learn, That's what truly matters. And the reality is, people don't buy coaching. They buy you have walked the path. People don't buy coaching. They buy you have walked the path. Yeah, let me say that one more time. People don't buy coaching. They buy you have walked the path. Now, coaching is a very powerful tool, and sometimes it seems like magic. Yeah, however, most people don't understand it. But when you share your story, when you share where you came from, yeah, you're able to meet them where they are so you can take them where they need to be. And tonight I want you to craft that story. I want you to craft your origin story. And today we're going to use the 3A framework to help craft that story. Now, the 3A framework is very straightforward. And the first layer from the bottom left, we have the anchor. Now, when I talk about the anchor, this is about taking your audience back to the point where everything changed for you. Yeah, you want to bring them into the story. You want to anchor them into that reality. You want to be relatable to them by sharing your own personal story. And as we move across to the right, we have the agitate. This is where you share what was the internal conflict you were experiencing. Yeah, what were some of the external strugglers that you were seeing in your life? Yeah, and then you want to ascend. Yeah, how did your life change as a result of the thing that you did next? What were some of the results? Yeah, and I know that you have a lot of these stories in your life, and I've just shared one of mine. Yeah, I anchored you into that reality. I'm in Shanghai in the street of Minhang, and I received this text message. Yeah, I agitated. I felt lost. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I made a stupid decision. Self-doubt showed up, and the ascension. Yeah, I asked for help. Yeah, and with the courage and the support of the people around me, I was able to move forward. Okay, so at this point, I want you to start to think about your 3A story, and we're going to craft one beautifully together today. Now, we're going to have a bit of fun doing this, and I just want to share one example with you before we have a quick exercise. Now, this is another example. Yeah, so we anchor. I remember the day I realized my teaching job was burning me out. I wake up already exhausted, counting down the weekend, wondering if this was all there was. That's the anchor. I tried side hustlers, I read every self-help book, but nothing felt like the way forward. The worst part, I stopped dreaming. Agitate. Then I joined a mastermind, got a coach, and start building my own soul-aligned business. Fast forward to today, I work with amazing clients from home, set my own hours, and have more energy than I've ever did in the classroom. Now I help educators do the same without burnout or overwhelm. That's the ascension. Yeah. Now this is a simpler version of what your story can look like. Yeah, but I wanted to create this simple draft first, and then you can always add your different spins to it. We anchor, we agitate, we ascend. Okay, so this is the name of the game. Yeah, with your level up body. So you'll be using the group that we have here right now. You want to share a moment you realize something had to change in your life. Yeah, your partner would listen for the emotional words. Okay, because these words are very important to meet your audience where they are, to be relatable, to build a level of empathy. And some words you can look for is burnt out, stuck, free, hopeful. Yeah, and when we did the exercise last week, I love the fact that Joy said the word baggage. Yeah, people come with their own baggage, and I can tell that she's using vocabulary from her clients. Yeah, it's only in certain cultural contexts people would refer to their conflict as baggage. Yeah, which is beautiful. So I want when you go in groups, yeah, you're gonna ask each other about that moment, and your partner will take notes of the emotional words. And then you'll share the emotional words and use some of those words to craft your story. You guys have done the hardest part, so that means everything else is gonna be easy from this point forward. Now, okay, the next step is to use our trusty Copilot. Yeah, whether you're using ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Gemini, whatever AI tool you're using, you can use this prompt. Yeah, and have AI actually help you craft the story, yeah, to add some meat to it. And the idea is not to have AI write the entire story, but have it give you a first draft. And here's a simple prompt you can use. Yeah, you are a story coach. Write my origin story in Anchor, Agitate, Ascend style based on, and you want to insert all of the information that, yeah, you've gathered here, especially the emotional bit. Yeah, make it warm, vivid, and authentic. Yeah. And now one of the biggest problem or struggles most leaders or coaches have with these stories is that they get so familiar with the story, they think they don't need to say it again. However, this is a story that you're going to tell over and over and over and over and over again until you get so bored of it. But there's always going to be somebody who's going to get a gift, a nugget, a learn, and an insight from when you share it, because it's going to just keep on getting better, like your favorite movies. Okay. Now, the reason why this matter is because stories create connection. Yeah, and I like to say stories create soul connection. It's not those those surface level kind of connection. It creates a connection that says that I see you. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, and many struggles with this because they fear being too personal, or they fear not being expert enough. Often we go through our struggles in isolation, think that our problems are only unique to us. However, when we start sharing our stories, yeah, you'll realize how not alone you are. Yeah, how many other posts have been waiting for you to show up. Yeah. Now, the next segment I want to share with you, belief-based content versus value-based content. And now this is very important to the mission that we're on, because the number one mission that we are on here is a mission of perspective shifting. Now, when we talk about value-based content, yeah, usually these are content that drowned us with information. Yeah, endless tips without context, endless how to do. Yeah, and that can become overwhelming, especially in this information age, especially in this ADHD age. Yeah, before you know it, I think every one of us is on some level of that spectrum. However, what we want to focus on is value belief based content. Yeah, content that shift perspective, content that shares how you see the world compared to how others see the world. And when you start to share from this perspective, this is when you start to bring, yeah, them to the next side. Okay. I know another reason why so many of us struggle with this as well, especially as educators, is because we teach like we're in the classroom, not like leaders. Yeah, we're afraid that if we don't give them all the information that they need, we haven't done enough. Yeah, so we packed our slide and our workbook with tons of information, yeah, thinking that, okay, we have done a good job. However, our mission here is not to give them the information, but our mission is empower them with the right belief and mindset so that they can use the information that is already there. Because there's nothing new under the sun, actually. Yeah, however, your stories, your unique and authentic experience that you have had, yeah, that is your IP. So you don't need to be perfect to start. You don't need to be perfect to share your story. Yeah, your authenticity and your willingness to learn is what truly matters on this journey. Now, I want you to do a quick exercise. Yeah, this is where I want you to write 3 beliefs about the work that you do. Yeah, 3 beliefs. Yeah, and you will share them here. And an example can be you don't need more content, you need more clarity. Okay, most often people would believe that they need X when they actually need Y. Okay, so think about the work that you do, and I'm going to give you 3 minutes. Yeah, and you're going to write 3 beliefs and you're going to share them with each other. Okay. Now that you've found your 3 belief shifting statement, yeah, you have you have everything that you need to start attracting the right people. Yeah, literally. Now, using your AI power-ups, yeah, these are what you can use during your own spare time. You wanna, whether it's ChatGPT, DeepSeek, any AI tool, yeah, turn these 3 beliefs into belief shifting social media posts. Yeah, short, scroll stopping, conversational. Okay, and that this is you already creating your content machine. Yeah, in our fourth pillar, we'll be talking a lot more about content. But right now, you're building your database of stories, your database of belief shifting content that you're gonna use to attract the right people to pull them to where you need them, so that they can also see the gap. Okay. Now, messaging that build trust. Now, the see people don't just buy from people; they buy from the people who they know, love, and trust. Yeah, and the key to messaging that build trust is that these messages speaks to a specific fear, a specific hope. Yeah, it mirrors the client language. It mirrors the language that the client have in their head. Yeah, and the way how we get to those language get to build trust even more is by sharing stories. Yeah, not just strategies. There's a saying in the marketing and sales world is that story sells, but facts tells. When you share a genuine and authentic story, it connects to someone on a level that, yeah, no one else can ever think of. Yeah, so you already have all the tools that you need. It's a matter of just finding the right structures and framework to put them in so you can communicate them effectively. So the key here is to speak to the specific fear, mirror the exact language, and share stories. Now, last week we craft your ICA, yeah, which stands for your ideal client avatar. And one of the exercise was to, note a day in their life. So what I want to do, you can go back to your module 2 notes. Yeah, and if you don't have those notes, that's okay. You can start to think about what are some of the pain phrases that they have. This is an avatar that I have created here for myself. I call her Sarah. She's 35 years old. She's an educator. Yeah, she's a school administrator. Yeah, she's definitely in Asia, yeah, in a global expert community and in international school. She feels burned out in the classroom and she's dreaming of the freedom, yeah, but unsure of how to make that transition. And here's a few pain statements she have. I've spent years getting a degree and certification, but I still feel stuck. Yeah, a desire statement is I want to build a business that use the skill I already have, or I want to make more money without burnt out or taking another degree. Now, these statements are so powerful, and you get to know more about these statements when you have conversations with your people. And it's not to have conversations to sell or get them to buy anything. It's just to connect and to embody, yeah, their vocabulary and just to be a part of that dialogue. Okay. So now the exercise that I want you to do here tonight is, yeah, each of you is gonna share your ICA biggest dream, yeah, that you created for biggest fear, sorry, that you created from module 2. And if you're looking at this on the replay, you can do this with your level up body. And if you don't have a level up body in the moment, you can just write it down. Yeah, and you want to, the opposition would respond with one sentence message that shows I get it. Yeah, and a simple hack that let people know that you get it is simply mirroring back, yeah, what they have shared. Yeah, and we do this as coaches. Yeah, for us, we mirror and then we reflect by asking the reflective questions. So if someone said that I'm having a difficult time, communicating with my partner, one of the things I can say as a coach, I can say, I can see that you're having a difficult time communicating effectively with your partner. And then I follow up with a question. Why is that so important to you right now? Yeah. But for this exercise, you want to just respond with one statement message that helps them to see, oh, I get it. Okay, so that will be exercise. Yeah, and you do it for 5 minutes. Okay, each of you can share at least 1 to 2 statements with each other. And then you want to reflect back to them, I get it. Now that you have your ideal client avatar biggest fear, now you can see where you can use these strategically in your communication. And this helps for your message to be super magnetic to attract the right people. Okay. Now here's your AI power-up. Yeah, using your trusty psychic chat GPT, DeepSeek, Gemini. Yeah, write 5 one-sentence message that shows empathy for and you want to insert all of the pain, yeah, language of your client, keep it warm and real. Okay, and have fun with it. You're creating your database, and you just want to take these and just put them in a document that you can always go back and use. Yeah, because as we start crafting and creating your foundation, we're gonna always be going back to these stories, these documents, these beliefs, and these, yeah, empathy building, yeah, phrases. Okay, so leverage all the tools that you need because you already have the resources that you need to succeed. And the reason why this matters is because people buy when they feel seen. Yeah, people buy when they feel seen. Many coaches struggle because they lead with solution instead of shared struggles. Yeah, one of the biggest reasons why we struggle with this is because we believe that, yeah, we need to be the expert or the guru who comes with all the solution instead of sharing a real struggle. Yeah, we're living in an information age. All the information that any human being want to overcome a problem is written in a book somewhere. Yeah, however, maybe that author haven't met them where they are on their journey. And that's why the playing field is so big and so large, because there's a lot more of you, yeah, who's waiting for you. Yeah. Now, one of your assignment that I'd like you to do is to draft 5 bio statements that says who you help, what result you deliver, and why it matters. Now you're gonna use your trusty AI psychic as well to do this. Yeah, if you're pressed for time. Also, what I can suggest, even before you use AI, try and write one for yourself. Yeah, let your brain, do some of the groundwork before you use AI. Yeah, then you can use AI as an assistant. Yeah, write 5 bio that says who I help, what results I deliver, and why it matters. Use my niche plus belief, and type in exactly who your niche is, and type in some of those beliefs. Okay, and you can take this bio statement and you can add it to your LinkedIn or your social media profile, or you can share this whenever you're networking at a networking event. Okay, and now throughout the entire journey that we've had together, you'll be creating a lot of these short statements, and the idea is to do A/B testing and see, which one lands. Yeah, maybe this week when you go and you network with people, you'll use, the first one, and the next week you try another one. See people response. Yeah, see the reaction on their face. Are they confused? Are they leaning in? Okay, and that's a beautiful part of the creative process. Yeah, you're getting feedback from the world around you as you create, because you're a creator. Yeah, you were born to create. Okay, so take a screenshot of this and you would complete this assignment. Also, you can use the workbook to support this exercise as well. Yeah, and create your 5 bio statements. Now, there's a magnetic message swipe file. Yeah, it's in the workbook. And what I want you to do for this exercise, I want you to pick one belief shifting hook and post within the workbook. And I want you to draft a message using the post. Yeah, and this is an example of one that you find inside of the workbook. Yeah, most type of people, that's what you fill in, think they need the wrong solution. Yeah, in reality, the real game changer is your solution. Okay, I'll show you an example. Yeah, we're just plug and play. Most educators think they need a degree or coaching certificate to start. In reality, the game changer is productizing their skills, the skills they already have. Yeah, simple as that. You've already been doing the research and the groundwork, collecting these pain and these desires. We're just gonna plug and play it into the swipe file statement I provided in the workbook. Okay, so you have about 3 minutes. Go to the workbook, find one of those statements, and just plug it in. Okay, awesome. Now you have just created, yeah, one belief shifting statement, and you have written it, and it's ready. It's ready for the world to receive, yeah, your value. Now, this week level 3 mission, yeah, is the signal scan. Now, the boss that you wanna beat in this level is audience confusion, because a confused audience do not buy. And the identity you unlock is the connector. When you speak from your heart, you speak from your soul, you meet people at their heart and their soul. So your mission this week is to start 3 genuine convo with dream clients. No pitch. Yeah, just start a conversation. Yeah, get curious. Yeah, share your story. Yeah, share your beliefs. Yeah, listen to their beliefs and their stories. And this is also part of your market research journey as well. Because the more you have these conversations, you're gonna be like, oh wow, oh this is a real fear my client have, and then you add it to your database. Yeah, because you can use it in your material later as you're crafting your own program. And remember, messaging is not just about what you post, but it's also about what you ask. Yeah. The challenge is to listen deeply this week. So it's not just about what you have to say, but about the question that you ask. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, and then mirroring what was shared. Yeah, so that they know that, yeah, they're being seen, they're not a human across from you. Yeah, so that's the level 3 mission for you this week. Yeah, and have fun doing it. Now, here's one quick win. Send one DM, one message. Yeah, and the message can be like, hey, Tim, it's been a minute and I've been thinking about you. So I figure let me just drop a quick message and send you some good vibes. How's everything going with the family? And that's it, leave it. Yeah, if they reply immediately or they reply next week, yeah, the conversation can start then. So that's a quick win. Make it imperfect and take action. Now, you've just unlocked module 3, find your magnetic message. Yeah. And next up, we have phase number 2, which is the beginning of module 4. You've just unlocked the first foundation of your soul-aligned business. Now, this is where you can celebrate. Yeah, we have hit a major milestone, which is creating the foundation of our legacy. And in module 4, we're going to be mapping your signature framework. Yeah, this makes your coaching method tangible, memorable, and marketable. Yeah, and this is all about productizing, yeah, your genius. Productizing the things that you do so well is like bread for you, but you are not aware of it. And during this session, you'll get to bring a lot of that alive. And maybe you've already started doing it, which makes it even more amazing. I remember Sophia sharing her 4F framework. Yeah, and I'm sure she has a lot more tools under her belt that she can share as well. And I know that Joy also have a framework that she's been working on as well, and you'll get to create even more of these, yeah, in this module. Now, the major key here is that your stories and belief aren't just content, they are magnets. Yeah, they are magnets of the human soul, and the right people is waiting to hear them. Your stories and your beliefs aren't just content, they are magnets, and the right people is waiting to hear them. Now, if you make it all the way to the end, it means you're enjoying the training. So be honest. Go ahead and let me know what was your biggest insight, as well as leave a comment and tell me what is your next big step. If you're watching this training and you're not taking action, it means you're just like everybody else. And I know that's not you. You were born to lead. You were born to make a difference. So let's do the thing, man. Also, grab the workbook. Yeah, because that's where the action is. And that's why I put every single thing that you need to do so that you can build a soul-aligned business. New episode every week. Check out the things, man. Sunday, 7 p.m. China time. Yeah, and see you on the next episode.